Alright, hello, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody in chat is doing well today. We've been able to fix the issues that we've been having last time. So, in the last stream I had, we were playing a little bit of Age of Empires 4, and unfortunately, what happened is that my live 2D, or my webcam specifically, went on the fritz. And I was stuck using a PNG for the majority of the stream. But thankfully, we've been able to fix things. And now you can see me with my glorious live 2D model once again. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well today. Today we'll just be playing a little bit more of Guild Wars 2, and the reason is because, I sort of just enjoy messing around with the story and taking things easily, taking things casually, just, a nice bit of evening relaxing to go for a very relaxing day overall. So I don't know what everybody else has been doing today, but for myself, I have just been sleeping a lot. I've just been sleeping a lot. Because the weather, I knew that the weather this weekend would be extraordinarily bad. And, it's raining heavily, it's very windy, the weather's not ideal whatsoever. So I've spent the majority of today just sleeping. I think I got out of bed at like 11 a.m. And that sort of thing. And I had like a very late lunch and I took like a little bit of a nap a little after. And I'm just catching up on a lot of sleep because I probably have built up a decent amount of sleep debt, which is, that's like the one kind of debt that you don't really want to build a lot of, like when it comes to credit card debt, when it comes to home loans, when it comes to, debt in general, maybe you have student loans and that sort of thing, all of that does screw you over. But over a period of time, right? You don't have to worry about that for like, several months or several years, and then it just smacks you in the face. And it's like, Tooru, you owe all of this money to like 3 different organizations. If you don't pay up, you're gonna be homeless. But sleep debt doesn't, it's not the kind of debt that you have to wait, several months or years to fuck you over. Sleep debt can fuck you over in a matter of days. So it is absolutely essential that everybody who has sleep debt do what they can to rectify that as soon as possible. And that's one thing I'm doing because I do have a very busy schedule, I would say, over the course of the average week. And yeah, so it's kind of funny though, because I still feel kind of sleepy right now, and that's not exactly the best thing you want to hear from a guy starting up a stream at 9 p.m. in the evening. Maybe not the most ideal thing to say, but definitely I have been using a lot of today to catch up on my errant sleep debt, which, in my opinion is something that a lot of people tend to do on the weekends. So yeah, it's quite common, right? It's quite common. You see a lot of people who get maybe 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep over the course of the weekday, if they have a full-time job or if they have, certain passions and interests, and then they spend a lot of the weekend just sleeping that off and trying to catch up for the week ahead. And look, that's not necessarily the healthiest cycle to go through, but it is a cycle to go through, it is a cycle to go through. But yeah, today guys, we'll be playing a little bit more of Guild Wars 2, just doing a little bit more of the story and continuing a little bit more with that, because I do have a couple of things that I do want to talk about, right? It's funny because I had planned on finishing a little pet project of mine before the stream today, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it done in time. So my inclination is actually just to stream again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have it done by tomorrow. But if tomorrow ends up being as unproductive as today in terms of sleeping and and that sort of thing, I don't know if it'll be done tomorrow either. We'll see. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the game, shall we? Let's get into the game. Once it loads up, ba-boom, there we go. So, friends, right now we are in a place called the Lion's Arch Aerodrome. And it's called the Aerodrome because you have these, you know, flying contraptions. You have these flying contraptions. And what this is supposed to represent, guys, what this is supposed to represent is the raid lobby. So, and the reason I'm here in the raid lobby is because over the course of the week, I very sneakily off stream, I went ahead and did some raid content with a few friends, right? I did some raid content actually, and I do have a few things to share with regards to all of that. But I did just want to show off like the raid lobby, because if you engage in endgame content, that's a bit loud actually, let's put that down a little bit. If you engage in endgame content in Guild Wars 2, you are more than likely going to find yourself in this location at some point if you do PvE endgame. So this is like the little raid lobby, and you can see, right? You can see everybody here. They have nice, elaborate skins with wonderful gliders and this sort of, you know, translucent look, or, you know, special fashions. Meanwhile, I'm here, you know, Mr. El Generico in swamp brown clothing, right? But here we have a handsome Charmail in a very dapper suit, a very dapper outfit with what's it? Wait, why does he have like the generic greatsword? That's like the generic greatsword. Maybe he's not. Maybe this guy's not the best example of what I'm talking about. But here we go, Mr. Skeletor Doomweaver. Okay, that sounds cool, right? Look at this guy with his glowing eyes and legendary armor with legendary wings and legendary accessories. This guy is kitted out to the brim in Guild Wars 2 Ultimate, you know, endgame fashion. As we can see here, if you have ordinary items, if you have ordinary equipment, I mean, it's just clothing, right? It's just clothing, it's just armor, there's nothing special, there's nothing cool about it. But once you start getting legendaries in this game, they come with special effects, right? And so we can see the glow, we can see, you know, there's like movement and all of that sort of thing. That all indicates some sort of legendary tier equipment. So we can see a lot of other people with like some glowing swords. So, you know, not all of them would be legendaries, right? But definitely the kind of fashion and the kind of skins and armor and weapons that they have access to indicate a level where they have completed some sort of endgame content. Doesn't have to be PvE, but they've completed some sort of endgame content and they're reaping the rewards. We take a look at the axes there as an example, and then they've got like the legendary heavy armor here. So when I say legendary armor, there are a few types of legendary armor, but this one in particular refers to raid legendary armor. So in this particular game, with enough experience and doing enough of the related achievements, you can obtain a legendary armor set in Guild Wars 2. And you can get legendary armor for doing World v World related content, and you can also get legendary armor for doing raid related content. So I think that's, you know, it's visually impressive. It's visually impressive. Now, what are the benefits of legendary armor? So essentially, the big benefit, the major benefit of legendary armor is the ability to stat swap. And what do you mean by stat swap, Tooru? What is stat swapping? So if we take a look in our equipment, our item menu, we currently have exotics equipped in our inventory, right? And we can see that we have set stats. And the current set stats that I'm using is Vipers, because that's the stat that you use if you want to create a condition build, which is damage over time, right? So this is the kind of setup that I have. But if I wanted to change the statistics on my equipment, I can't, right? We go customize, you can't. Attribute selection is unavailable for this item. So what that means is if I wanted to make myself a power set, if I wanted to change my build, I would have to get different sets of equipment in order to accommodate that build. However, if I have legendary armor, you have access to the stat swap function or feature. And so what that means is that you will always have the highest tier of equipment with legendary armor, and you have the capacity to swap its stats around at will. And so what that means is that once you get legendary armor, once you get legendary weapons, once you get legendary accessories, then you don't need any other pieces of, equipment. You don't need any other pieces of armor. You don't need any other weapons. You don't need any other accessories. And the reason is because you have your endgame. Not playing a char like a Chad. Welcome, Valis. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. I mean, the thing with that, Valis, is that if I wanted to play a char, I would prefer to play a char male, right? But then if I played a char male, I don't know. There's like I don't know. There's like a sort of a certain demographic that really likes to overinvest on char males. I couldn't for the life of me tell you what that demographic is, but it's a demographic that I don't personally share. But I do actually have another account where I have a combination of every race and every gender. I've got enough characters where I can load up with every race and every gender. And this particular account that I'm using to stream on is actually an alternate account. I see your argument. Thank you. I appreciate it because I do have people who have come to me and said, Tooru, why don't you play this, race? Why don't you play that race? And then in my defense, I'll roll out some silly excuse about some sort of stereotype to sort of deflect the criticism. So there we go. Not playing a Norn like a Chad, bro. I even play. Norns are pretty cool. I'll accept that argument. Valis. Welcome to the stream again. And how are you doing today? But yeah, I'll accept that argument. Char. Norn are pretty cool. I do like Norn. I do like the lore around it. Though I do feel like the lore surrounding the Norn is a little bit underused because they have a lot of interesting ideas, right? In terms of how the culture functions, in terms of how the society is structured. But then they don't do a whole lot with it, which is a little unfortunate. Thank you for the subscription, Valis. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I find it a little unfortunate. However, don't mind me just stealing your founder badge. Hey, go for it. You cannot steal what is freely... Well, I was going to say freely given, but that doesn't work, does it? Because you got the subscription. But thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I think it is a little unfortunate. That there is like cool lore surrounding the Norn, but I don't know if that really comes out well in the story. That said, there's a lot of new story that I actually haven't engaged with. Like, I haven't engaged with the main story of Guild Wars 2 in quite a long time, to be honest. So there could actually be a lot of stuff out there that could take advantage of the lore, but I do feel that based on what I've played, for example, that the whole societal structure of the Norn is really underexplored, because I think that the idea that, you have... I don't know, like the way that the Norn society is structured is kind of funny, because it's like... it's like they're structured like ANCAPs, right? But then you could do a lot with that, but I don't think they really have in the story. Which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, they're really undeveloped. I played through it once and just gave up at the end when Tree Jesus just took over the plot. Oh, Traherne. Yes. I do agree. And I think that Traherne actually plays a big part in the Heart of Thorns expansion, which is what we're currently playing through. However, in the latest expansion, it's kind of old now, but in the Path of Fire expansion, which is after Heart of Thorns, then Traherne plays a lot lesser of a role. So I think they do a good job at like developing the story in that time period, but definitely in the base campaign and in Heart of Thorns, there is like this sort of focus on Traherne, which can be a little bit annoying if you want to have like a sort of nice, well-developed story, and then what you end up with is something that revolves around one or two of the side characters, So I do definitely understand that argument. JP, welcome. JP, welcome to the stream. How are you today? How are you today? But look at look at all of these endgame players, my friends, with their shining auras, with their special effects, with their pets, with their titles, with their, massive masteries, mastery levels. And then here I look at the glow of this person. My goodness. My goodness. Is this a person or is this a freaking LED light? Like, come on. And you have all of these really decked out looking people. This person has a bat aura, for goodness sake, guys. And then here we have little deadbeat Tooru in freaking swamp brown robes. So it's a nice little contrast. But actually, yes, there is other stuff I could talk about with regards to raids, because as we can see here, there's a lot of chests, guys. There's a lot of chests. So what happens is that whenever you beat a raid, so raiding is actually one of the most profitable activities that you can do in Guild Wars. So if you can farm raids, you can actually earn quite a lot of money, right? So every time you beat a raid for the first time, you get something called a box of Raiders supplies. Now I have 9 of these because I have defeated, 9 of these raid encounters so far. And inside of the supplies, you can get yourself food items, and you can get yourself I think ascended crafting materials and things like that. And then, collectively you can earn actually quite a bit of money, because when you defeat a raid encounter, you get 2 gold, right? If you beat it for the first time that week, right? If you defeat a raid encounter, you get 2 gold, but then you also get some other goodies. You get a chance at ascended items. And in my haul, in the last week when I went with my friend, I actually did get a couple of ascended items. So here we have a healer's spirit branch, which we got from the boss Gorseval, and we have Adina's rifle of the assaulter, which is from the latest raid wing, which is wing 7, and this is from the Adina boss. And then we can see here we can select our stats. There are certain stats that we can select and that we can't select, and we can go ahead, but this is ascended gear, which is at the top level in terms of tier power. Okay, which is at the top level in terms of tier power. The difference between ascended and legendary is that you can't stat swap ascended gear, but in terms of power, it is equivalent to legendary, which is the strongest tier in the game. So if you have a character that is capable of doing raids and you yourself are capable of doing raids, then doing raids is actually one of the most profitable activities that you can do in Guild Wars. Now, it's not as repeatable as other farming activities, so it's not the most profitable thing to do in the game, but, on a per weekly basis, you can actually earn and build up quite a lot of money for doing so. So I think, I think raiding's pretty fun. It's what I enjoy most about this game. Definitely. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a cutie. Okay. Settle down, Tooru. You're not here to... Oh, wow. Look at this cutie. I'm joking. There we go. Oh, Sparkle Norn. There we go. No, but, raids are fun. Raids are fun. I used to make money just by crafting niche supplies and cornering the market. Yes. I think that's fun too. Actually, I'm personally not involved in it, Valis, but I do know that there is actually a metagame revolving around crafting and selling items on the Black Lion Trading Company. So you can craft things like certain weapons, or you can craft what is it? The ascended materials, right? So it was the Deldrimor ingots, those sorts of items, because they sell for a lot on the trading post. But then they don't cost that much to craft yourself if you have all of the basic materials. So that was also a very good way to earn money. Never tried raids. I see. So raids was a form of activity that was added in with the Heart of Thorns expansion. I think this was 5 years ago, but they didn't have raids in the base game. So, unfortunately, if you didn't like if you didn't stick around for a lot of the expansions, then there's no way that you would have been able to see it because they didn't implement it until later. I somehow played Guild Wars 2 without a guild. Oh, that's really unfortunate, Valis. That's really unfortunate. I mean, I can't really talk because I have no guilds right now either. But I think that playing with a guild is definitely one of the highlights of Guild Wars 2. I mean, I think it's a highlight of MMOs in general, right? Like, the thing is, other genres of games, you can build the connections, right? You can build connections with friends. You can play with the boys. You can have fun in co-op. You can play with others. But what MMOs do that no other games or no other genre of games can do really well is the sense of scale. That's why it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. And so it's the idea that there is content out there that does allow for coordinated play on a massive scale. And that's what makes MMOs stand out. So I do believe that, if you ever do come back to the game, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, then, it would be nice if you were able to find a guild to do it with. Because definitely for me, playing through the game, when I was still learning everything, when I was still understanding how the game worked, playing with other people, playing in a guild was definitely the highlight for me. Because a lot of the guilds out there, a lot of the large guilds will have activities scheduled out, and joining in those activities is definitely a big highlight because at the time everything was new for me. Talking with new people, doing new things. And then once I got to know people, once I became friends with people, once we got to understand each other, once we got to add each other on social medias and all of that sort of thing, it's like then you have your group of established friends and then you're logging in for, another day of hanging out. And, that... Oh, this is going to sound sadder than I mean it to be, but it's a nice feeling to have friends, to spend time with every day. So enough of that for now, guys. Enough of that for now. We'll go ahead and continue with our story. And we will be going to the Tangled Depths, which is a map within the Maguma Forest, which is part of the Heart of Thorns expansion. I think we're getting relatively, I don't know, we're not even that close to the end. But the reason why I want to do the story specifically, outside of general continuity, is because the expansion packs add in something what is called masteries. And so you have different types of masteries, mastery points, that you can get for activities in each of the expansion packs and each of the story arcs and that sort of thing. And Heart of Thorns, right? So a lot of the expansion pack functionality features is gated behind gaining mastery over them. And this encourages you to actually engage in the content in order to get those masteries so that you can make use of the functionality. And what do I mean by functionality? So for example, Path of Fire added something to the game, which is mounts. And for example, the first mount that you get is the Raptor mount. So here we have a Raptor mount, and I really do like the way that the game handles mounts, right? The controls are very nice. You get extra skills. I mean, I don't have much shown here, but that's partially because I don't really have a lot unlocked yet. But they have all the different mounts that you can get there. And this allows you a new way to not only play through the game, but also traverse the maps, right? Because as JP just said, those are essential in some places, very true. The maps are often designed in a way where it's not possible to complete them properly without a corresponding mastery to do with a mount. And in Heart of Thorns, they don't have mounts. So mounts aren't necessary to traverse these maps, but what it does have is gliding. So gliding. So if we can see here, a nice little glide there. So certain types of gliding and that kind of thing is necessary in order to traverse these maps, right? Because this is the Heart of Thorns maps. And okay, why is gliding so important to you, Tooru? It's important because ley line gliding is in this mastery tree. So I want to continue learning all of the things here and obtain enough mastery points in order to unlock leyline gliding. And why do I want leyline gliding? Because there are some raids in this game that require leyline gliding. So it was sort of funny because I was invited to do raids with a friend of mine. She has like a group that is kind of half in progression. You mean one raid boss? Yes, Kenjo, welcome to the stream. One raid boss, Zera, as you would know. But it was necessary. It's necessary. So whether it's one boss or whether it's 10 bosses, the fact is that I need it. Right? I need this mastery, right? And so I got invited to raid with my friends because she had a group, right? And oh my goodness, she had a group, and a lot of the people in that group are doing progression. What that means is that they are not that familiar with all of the mechanics yet, and they're still relatively new to it. And then for me though, like I'm someone who is fairly experienced with Guild Wars 2, not just hold on, not just like the raid. Pretty sure I dodged that one. Not just like the raid bosses, but like in general how to Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say like not just the raid bosses, but in general like how to use the character, and then I just die, and then I just freaking die. Oh my god, I hate those mushrooms. I hate those mushrooms. I swear to God. I swear to God. This mushroom kingdom, if you will, I want to scorch this entire area in flames because a lot of the enemies here are just so annoying to deal with. I can't handle it. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. But what I was saying was that a lot of the people that I was playing with are still relatively new. So I was under the impression that, oh, I can just breeze through. I won't have any problems. I'll just be part of the group and nothing is going to go wrong whatsoever. But then what ended up happening was that my friend actually wanted to take people through that specific raid encounter where you did need the mastery. And so I was sort of like in a rock and a hard place because, like I wanted to be able to help them with that specific boss, but the fact is that I couldn't, right? Because I could not do the boss myself. Oh, no, wait. Let's see. That's fine. Okay, this guy should not be here. How did he get here? I think he's actually stuck. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's fine. I think he's actually stuck. So we can take him out. I kind of want the golem here. And I definitely want Epidemic here. So we'll swap here because Epidemic's a pretty good skill. And we'll get the golem just to get an extra guy. So I'm playing currently the Necromancer. And this class heavily relies on ranged condition damage. So that's damage over time. And you can summon like minions and that sort of thing to help you. But the main draw of this class is like ranged condition damage. And that's how, you do the majority of your work, right? But yeah, with regards to like my friend and her raids, it was sort of unfortunate because like I had like hyped myself up. Like, oh, I'm going to help with them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But then the thing is, because I I did not have the necessary mastery, we actually had to skip that particular encounter. So I had built myself up in order to help. I got this sort of savior complex going on. Tooru, the heavy carry. I'm going to help. I'm going to go there. I'm going to top DPS. I'm going to swing my massive raid dick all around the group and just save everybody. And then because I realized right at the end, like, oh wait, I actually don't have the mastery to do the encounter. So she goes like, oh, okay, well, we'll just skip the wing. We'll just do other raid encounters because you, Tooru, do not have the necessary mastery. to complete it like the rest of us. So, you know, instead of being like the big sort of raid carry, you know, the guy that's gonna help everybody, I was the opposite. I was the opposite. I was the guy letting everybody down. I was the big guy getting carried myself, and it was embarrassing. It was a little embarrassing, but everybody was very, you know, nice and sort of polite and complimentary about it. So we were able to do other raid encounters, and we were able to do them pretty smoothly. So it all worked out in the end. But it was just sort of funny, because I'd gotten myself into a big mood where I was thinking, oh, I'm going to help these guys out. I'm the big carry. And then in the end, I ended up weighing them down. Oh, no. Which is not the best feeling, So I was just going to ask. Yeah. So Valis, so what happens is that in the expansion packs, in the expansion packs, they have something called an elite specialization. And what that is a new way to play the game. So the base class that I'm running is Necromancer, and that has certain specializations. But when you get to the expansion pack, you actually get access to a new specialization, you know, on one per expansion pack. And this enables, like, this completely overhauls how the class is supposed to play. And the idea is to provide a new way or a new class role that, or a new role that the class can excel at, better than what the base specializations can do. And so I'm currently playing the Scourge. It's not fully decked out, but I'm currently using the Scourge specialization, which works primarily on dealing condition damage onto my opponents. And so the signature mechanic that they've changed is something called Shade. So you know how with base Necromancer you have like the idea of life force. I'm not sure if you've played Necromancer before, but Necromancer has this idea of life force, and then if you generate enough life force, you can go into a special mode, like Lich mode with like your F1, and then use different skills. But they've overhauled that for the elite specialization for Scourge, and what instead of, you know, turning into like this sort of special Lich, what you have are shades. So you can put down desert shades, and then you can chain them with your F skills to use certain abilities. So you can see here, this one gives myself a mechanic called Barrier, which is like extra defense, extra health points. This one, you know, sort of helps with your like Condi cleanse. This one casts Fear in an AoE. This one gives you like extra boons and stuff like that. And then it exhausts your life force. So it's similar with how it works with the base class, but it's just a new way of conceptualizing the you know, the core mechanic and redoing it in a way that allows you to do different things that you weren't able to do before. And that's one of the reasons why the elite specializations are one of the biggest draws for each of the new X packs, because the new X pack provides a new specialization which allows you a new way, an interesting way to play the game. Because definitely you can't do the sorts of things that we're doing on Scourge if you had the base Necromancer class. But in saying that, I haven't actually completed all of Scourge yet. I've literally only completed half of Scourge. So I'm a Scourge in training. I'm not necessarily a Scourge yet. I'm a Scourge in training because I haven't unlocked all the hero points yet. Trying to play Savior Keck W. No, Kenjo. You don't understand. You don't understand. I was the Savior until I wasn't. But you know, that's why we're here today. And that's why we'll be continuing to play Guild Wars, so that next time, so that if I get to play with my friend again and her group again, I won't just embarrass myself with my lack of mastery over the game, you know? So we'll go ahead, talk to Tizlak. There we go. Hunt Chuck and talk to other Nuhok.
I'm looking for Rata Novus. Ever heard of it?
Rata Novus. Oh, right. That was the plot in the previous story section.
You mean an old Asuran city?
Yes.
Yes.
Near here, underground.
This guy looks pretty dapper.
Call that Ratanovus. I have all the other ingredients.
I like the rumbling that his throat has, you know, whenever he talks. That's pretty cool. All right. Kill Chark and talk to the local Nuhok to collect Chark enzyme. Then bring the Chark enzyme to Tizlak. And so this is like a kind of a... This is kind of like a quasi... I don't know, I wouldn't say it like a fetch quest, but it's reminiscent of a fetch quest in like other MMOs, right? Because the idea is that you just go around beating monsters, collecting their parts, and then bringing them back, right? And that's very fetch questian MMO.
Chalk enzyme. I'm in need of some.
Okay, let's see. Come on, come on. Alright, let's go. I'm not really too interested in what he was talking about, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the... Yeah, go to the chalk area. Go to the chalk area. They will introduce a shit elementalist one, sadly, one day. Yes, I do think so, JP, because, you know... Oh my goodness, these guys do so much damage. I do think it's probably inevitable that Elementalist will get a very bad sort of elite specialization at some point. I should be able to jump these. I have the mastery. Okay. I wasn't expecting it to jump like that. And I feel like it's just like that because of my ping. So being an MMO, being an online game... Obviously, being in the place where I am is a bit of a disadvantage. But yeah, I do think that with Elementalist, like, they are overdue for a bad one. Because I think that... Well, I don't know. I don't even know if this is true anymore. But I want to say... that Elementalist has... Or is a class that has been treated very well by ArenaNet. You know? I want to say that it's been treated very well by ArenaNet. And I do feel like, you know, if they were taken down a peg, I wouldn't particularly mind. I would not particularly mind. Let's see if we can CC all... Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's better than nothing. Let's get us up some barrier. Let's epi that guy. Because they'll hit... two of these guys. Ticking conditions. Which is annoying, but it's fine. We'll be able to get that guy down. There we go. Not bad, though. Not bad. Lads, Shork's mum is too cute. I don't know what you're talking about, Kenjo. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, well, actually, no. Wait. Wait. I thought about it for a second, and I understand what you're talking about. Okay. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. They have been nerfing it relentlessly. It is very strong in melee, but they've removed its ranged viability. Ah, I see. So I'm not even like meant to be exploring here, but I just feel like it because I really enjoy the vistas. The vistas are so cool. Just because, you know, it's a nice little element of flavor that I don't know if a lot of MMOs also do in their games, right? Because it's the panning shot and introducing the locale to you, you know, looking over any significant landmarks in the area and that kind of thing. I actually don't know if other MMOs have that kind of mechanic, right? Because I don't really play a lot of other MMOs. If I'm being completely honest, if I'm being perfectly honest, Guild Wars 2 is the only MMO that I have dedicated any significant amount of time into, right? So I don't know if other MMOs do have that kind of thing, but it is nice that Guild Wars 2 does have the vistas, right? It is nice. It is nice, I'll say that much. Where am I even supposed to go? Because it's like they want me to kill Chark, but the Chark are like all the way down here, aren't they? Well, maybe... Wait, this is probably the wrong way. I don't think the Chark is down here. So what they gotta do is Wait, what? This is definitely not where I'm supposed to go. So what they do, they introduce a strong melee spec. In PV, yes, it's not no range. Still good for... It's got no range. Still good for PvP. I think in PvP, Elementalist is okay. But I think JP is like a world v world player, so he might not necessarily care too much about like structured PvP. It's more about world v world. To which I say, you know, world v world is a pretty cool game mode, right? It's a cool game mode in theory. And just so for people who are unfamiliar, actual chuck. Here we go. This is what I'm after. Just so what people understand what I'm talking about, World v World is a game mode that is Guild Wars 2's open PvP, right? Open world PvP. Because on the normal PvE maps, like for example this one, there's no element of PvP, right? There's no PvP on a map like this. And then in structured PvP, so quote unquote PvP, what that is oh my god, what that is like arena based. It's like you're playing rounds in a match, but World v World is, you know, the actual open world PvP. So you can face against other players, but not just other players, also other like groups and other guilds and other servers. The only time I ever touched World v World was to get the last few jumping puzzles I hadn't done. That's fair enough. That's fair enough, Alice. I do think that I find it incredibly weird. Well, no, I don't, because that's how Guild Wars 2 was originally designed. But oh wow, okay, that area is gonna hurt. Oh no! Oh, is this the poison area? Is that the actual poison area? In which case, I actually just die. I actually just die. So, in order to traverse this sort of area, you need a certain mastery. And I don't have that mastery, I think. Yeah, big F, big F. Where's the... No. Wait, where's the waypoint at the start of the map? Here we go. Yeah, a little unfortunate that I'm dying on the terrain and everything, but I think that's fine because of this expansion pack, Tangled Depths is supposed to be the most annoying one to navigate, so I'm not too surprised that I'm just dying or whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So what I needed to do was just get myself into a position where I can beat some Chuck. I did beat some Chuck, but I guess it's not the Chuck that they were looking for. And then I need to talk to some of the locals. But I do find it funny, right? I do find it funny that World v World actually has a lot of like PvE mechanics added into it. So you still have the vistas. You still have the vistas of open world, and you still have other things, right? Such as jumping puzzles implemented into World v World. And I understand why. The reason why was because originally ArenaNet wanted to have the idea that even though World v World has open PvP, they were supposed to be treated and designed like a proper map that you see in PvE. So like the overworld map that you have here, the World v World maps are different, but then also sort of the same. The problem is, because it's like a competitive map, what ends up happening is that barely any people, like literally no one, uses it for its intended purpose as like an open world, as an alternate to the open world, just with PvP. Everybody uses it for like dedicated PvP activity, right? So what do I mean by dedicated PvP activity? Guilds use it to, you know, play the World v World game mode, right? Guilds and, you know, server groups use it to play the World v World game mode, where they go after objectives, where they fight other players, you know, and they get the rewards for doing so. Because there actually are quite a few rewards that you can get out of World v World, which can be pretty lucrative or pretty handy. But I do find it funny because it was initially designed as this kind of like alternate version of the open world, but it wasn't really ever used or treated like that. And it just sort of adds to the idea that you have Guild Wars that is designed in a specific way, but not really utilized that way by the player base. I find it incredibly amusing, and you know, it's not really a bad thing per se, but I do find it funny that the design that ArenaNet originally had for Guild Wars 2 really didn't pan out the way they intended. And it's not, again, it's not a bad thing. The waypoint was like all the way at the bottom. I keep forgetting this. Like I said, it's not a bad thing because I actually do enjoy a lot of it. But, yeah, I do find it funny that they intended for one thing, but then it just doesn't pan out that way whatsoever, right? I think I had a rant not too long ago where I talk about how they designed classes and how that really didn't mesh well with what ended up happening in terms of like raid design, in terms of like PvE design, you know, how they envisioned classes sort of was like a hindrance to how all of it ended up working, right? And so the way that they designed World v World is sort of similar in that sense. I leveled my warrior back in the day from level 10 to 80, solely in World v World. Ah, yes, Kenjo. Because, wait, World v World scales, right? So you can get like a low level character and then it will auto scale to level 80. I believe that's what makes it possible, right? Okay, so who do I need to talk to deposit these enzymes? Because I've got a few enzymes now, but I don't have enough to complete the quest, I think. Still, we can talk. We can talk to Kaksan or this Mr. Stompers.
Over here.
Okay.
Come here for a second.
Need something?
Need something?
Cool. Look at me. Look down like there's something interesting on the ground.
Something interesting.
Yeah, casual like that. Good. Now, word is, don't look at me. Word is,
What is this guy on?
Shock enzyme. I got some. You interested? Just cost you a little coin, you know.
Ah, okay. So the idea is that we either go with this guy, pay a little bit of gold, or we go with this guy and we solve his personal problem, right? It's like,
Woe is me. I'll never see it again.
because like he's looking for some. Oh, yeah.
The other day I was hunting chalk for their enzyme. You got it? It's here?
One warbler.
Here we
as
go.
promised.
Warbler. And there we go. So we already got what he was looking for. Very nice.
Here's the enzyme. Small price to pay for such a fine warbler.
All right, and then now we can pay this guy, and then we should have enough chalk enzyme now.
Over here. Come here for a second.
I did it in one go too. Very nice, Kenjo. Very nice.
Look at me. Look down like this.
So did you join like part of groups, or did you just like solo roam? Because there are a few ways to play World v World. Like there are people that do it solo and then they just roam. There's like small groups that go together, and then there's like people who join like the sort of massive armies.
Cost you a little coin, you know.
It was a Zerg. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Where's the coin?
The jungle has turned cruel.
The only thing cruel here, Kaksan, is you not giving me my damn enzymes. Give me my enzymes. I'm willing to pay. Ah, SMH my head. All right, Tizlak. I'm pretty sure I've got enough enzymes though. Regardless of, oh, I'm like one short. I'm one short, guys.
I have all the other ingredients. Still need
Oh wait, no, I'm too short. I'm too short. Never mind. But I'm pretty sure there's more chalk in there, so I can just go ahead and finish them off. Yes, it was a Zerg. Ah, okay. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Yeah, but so just to explain a little bit about the different types of the way World v World works. So one thing that's very common is that you have roaming. And what roaming is essentially you just go by yourself or in a small group and you run around the map looking for fights and capping small objectives. But then once you start getting into like the Zerg stuff, that's the sort of signature World v World kind of combat where you have giant squads of 40 to 50 people just smashing against each other in, you know, armed combat, you know, fighting over castles, fighting over objectives, fighting for dominance over a map. And I think in terms of as an idea, and aesthetic, oh, maybe not aesthetically, but conceptually, that was the word I was looking for. Conceptually, it's like the signature aspect of Guild Wars 2 that sort of made it stand out at the time. Because we have to remember that Guild Wars 2 was released in like 2012. So at the time, mass PvP, the way that we had World v World, was not really common, right? I mean, I guess you had like really old MMOs, like what, like Asheron's Call and that kind of stuff. But the MMOs of the time were not really hugely focused on like mass PvP. It was all about being the WoW killer. And a lot of that revolved around PvE activities. But Guild Wars 2 was like one of the games that, you know, sort of tried to promise everything at once. And on top of that, it had World v World on top of that, right? And so conceptually, I think World v World is a really cool idea. The idea that you have a map with, you know, objectives that can be captured and that can sway control from one faction to another and that sort of thing. I think that sort of idea is really, really cool, and it appeals to a lot of people, and it's something that you can make last for a long, long time in terms of game content. However, in practice, World v World is kind of a shit show. Okay, let me clarify that. So when I say World v World can be kind of a shit show, I say that as someone who has an average of 300 ping, right? I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says here my ping is over 300, right? And so once you get into World v World, and if there's, you know, enough people in a particular fight, it just becomes a massive shit show, because you have virtually no control over your skills. You encounter something what is called skill delay. So, for example, if I press my button, there's like a small delay, but then I do the skill, right? And let's do another skill. Let's use skill 2, Grasping Dead. So there'll be like a little bit of a delay from the moment I use it until the moment I execute it. You can see there. See? There's like a little bit of a delay, and that delay is roughly like 300 to 400, you know, milliseconds, right? And you can see we can do it again. See, there's a little bit of a delay, but it's not too bad, right? Once we have like 50 to 100 people in the one spot, then you encounter something called skill delay. And what skill delay is when you use a skill, and then there's no feedback on whether you use the skill or not. Your character does not do the animation, the special effects does not go off, you don't get to see any damage on the opponent, so you have no idea if your skill has gone off, and in all likelihood it hasn't gone off, and there will be a delay until it does go off. And so what happens is that once you're in Zergs, once you're doing Zerg fights, you can basically just drop your AoEs, right? You drop your AoE skills, and then you run off. And then you run off because you don't know if and when they actually land on your opposition. And so I've had multiple scenarios, I've had multiple situations where I join a Zerg and I get my head full of steam and I think to myself, oh my god, you know, I'm in a big, epic, you know, 50v50 fight, and this is going to be so cool and so fun, and we're sieging a castle, and you know, like the conceptually it's so cool. And then what happens in practice is that people start firing skills at each other, and then everything stops reacting on my screen. All right, I have no idea what's going on, and then I say, well, this is boring because I can't do anything. So I run off, right? I run off from, like, let's say the battle is happening here, right? Let's say the battle is happening by Tizlak, okay? The battle happens by Tizlak. I get bored after 30 seconds. I run off, right? I run off and I say, okay, I'm going to do something else. And then, when I hit this area, when I'm this far away, all of the skills that... Do you guys see that? I wasn't the only... You saw that, right? Wasn't just me. You saw that, right? You saw that? All right. Ah! What the fuck? How did they all get here? Okay, this game is spookier than I thought. What the heck? Anyway, So now that we're this far away, and it's been like 2 minutes after the fight has happened, then all of the damage from the fight earlier hits me all at once. All at once, right? It hits me all at once and I instantly die. I'm nowhere near the fight, I'm nowhere near anybody, and I'm suitably far away from the location of the fight. And then I just instantly die, right? And then so that's the result. That's the reality of Guild Wars World v World if you're in a suitably large enough group. What happens is that you encounter skill delay and you are not able to reliably play the game mode. And I find that to be incredibly unfortunate because conceptually, I feel like World v World is this really cool idea. But in practice, it falls so far short. And the reason why it falls so far short is because the server infrastructure is not up to the task. And so your experience in World v World is nothing like what you hope, which is so sad. So what? You didn't see it, JP? You didn't see it? There was a whole bunch of Chuck that were like walking on... Oh, wow. Look at that person. So cool. There was a person like walking on a... Oh, sorry. There was like the Chuck were like walking midair. Right. So we're supposedly going to the... We're trying to find our way to... Rata Novus? Yeah. So we're going through here, and we're just like trying to skip as much of the Chuck as possible. Oh no. If I go through here, I'm gonna die, aren't I? I'm going. Then how do I get to there? All of these Chuck are so annoying. Guys. What the heck? Unfortunately, he died before the epi worked. Okay, not bad. Alright. So we're using our mount. Oh. You know what? I'm just gonna follow this guy. You know what? This person here has got an Apple tag, which means that they are a mentor. And look, okay? Mentor in this game doesn't really mean a thing. So I wouldn't put too much stock into it. But, you know, just the fact that, you know, they seem to be another person means I might as well just help them. Alright, now I'm doing random events. I am a member of this world, guys. I'm helping out. Okay, what kind of... Okay, this is a daredevil, staff daredevil. Okay. Movement speed? Okay, whatever. Whoa, look at all of this. Look at all of these enemies. Oh, shit, that hurts. Unfortunate. Okay. Okay, it doesn't hit anybody. There's nobody left. Alright, cool. Alright. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself but get involved in this situation. Jeez. Why are they so... I'm like the only other person here, though. So what I'm doing, like what I'm prioritizing is using my skills to give myself barrier. And what barrier will do is help buffer my HP, because these guys do hit pretty hard, right? And so if I get enough barrier, then I should be able to survive. Oh, see, long enough to at least score some kills, which will revive me if I do down, you know. Alright. I kind of wish I had plague lands here, but I'm stuck in combat, so I can't really do much about that. Unfortunate. fine. Should be able to tag one of these and then revive. Yep, there we go. Oh, no. Okay. This guy is about to die. Yep. Nice. Fuck. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, there's other people. There's like one other person now. Okay. Cool, cool. Now, let's get ourselves... No! I wanted to like change my skill, but this guy got in my way and hit me right at the end. Because my elite skill is like... It's supposed to be your strongest skill. And I can have like an AoE skill, but instead I get the golem. I mean, the golem's okay, but I'd rather have the AoE skill. Oh my god. This one. There we go. There we go, that's fine. Jeez, you lose so much HP. Is there anything here? Ah, okay, that's invulnerable. Okay, never mind. Okay. Let's get ahead in the game. And I do want to be able to, like, get to... I do want to be able to get to Ratanovis. And so they want me to take the... They want me to take the what is it, like the New Hawk path? The Chak path. And how did we get there? New Hawk Lane, Chak Straw. So it would be like this area, I believe. Oh. Yeah, I knew an enemy was coming for me. That's why I got out of the map window instead of like continuing just to see what was up. Oh my goodness, this guy's down. Oh no. Gotta help him. Ah, unfortunate. Alright. Alright, we can do this though. We can do this. Wait, there's still so many enemies here. What the heck? Oh, okay. Was able to just get him. Okay, use the New Hawk path to find Ratanovis. Why are there so many spawning on... Oh no, I'm going. I've helped enough, guys. I've helped enough. Let me go in base. Let me go in peace. Where? Come on. Come on. Out of combat. There we go. Whew. Out of combat. Jeez, there's so many enemies in this area. What the heck? I mean, that's really to be expected, right? Because this is supposed to be a hostile land, but it is just sort of disappointing how many enemies there are. So the thing is... Hold on. Lean techniques, exalted law. It's a law. I mean, I'm not really after the languages. Here we go. This is the one that I need. So, in order to get to the next spot, I'm pretty sure there's like... Yeah, there's like the wallows here. And then you're supposed to go through here to travel to the lane. But I don't have the mastery yet. So, in order to do that, the game wants me to gain XP in order to fill my mastery track. And the way to do that is by doing events. So the beetle thing that I was doing earlier is actually not a bad thing to do. And the game is very sort of interconnected like that, where it will gate your progress behind XP. And then the way to gain that XP is by doing other events in the area, right? Events, meta events especially, are very lucrative for XP. And so it encourages, and I've talked about this before, but it does encourage like a certain level of investment on the map that you're currently playing on, which is kind of cool. which is kind of cool. It's not the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my life, but it is nice that, you know, there's a certain level of foresight into how these events are designed. It's not just, you know, random shit, right? It's like everything is sort of interconnected, and we can see here we gained a lot of XP from that event, and we gained some rewards, but the main thing is that that XP makes its way there. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of XP. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of XP, so we need to like run around and do more shit in order to get ourselves the new hog path. I mean, I think there's like another way around. Like we can do this without relying on like the meta events and stuff. But I mean, without relying on the mastery. But I mean, I don't really know, because it's been a very long time since I have spent, you know, it's been a long time since I've spent a lot of time on this map. So I'm not 100% sure how things work anymore. So hopefully I got this right. But yeah, we have to remember that the main reason why I'm putting myself through all of this is because I have a friend that I'm raiding with. Unfortunately, I just missed out. I have a friend that I'm raiding with, and in order to ensure that I don't leave, like I don't let their group down, then I have the capacity to help out and do the right thing by getting the mastery. But yeah, I think that should be pretty straightforward. Oh, come on. Am I still in combat? What? Oh, my minions are attacking someone. I was thinking, like, why am I still in combat? Like, I should be out of combat by now. That's why, because my minions are still attacking someone. And then now that I've got myself in here, I'm like right in the middle of this nonsense. Alright. No, that's fine. I can get rid of this one. There we go. Oh my god. Take me away. Take me away. There we go. Oof. The good thing is that the events in these maps are very, very plentiful. So just by wandering and exploring, you will 100% stumble into, you know, maps. You'll stumble into events and stuff. Whoa. Oh, so close. So close to death, but we're able to like just get there. There we go. And by protecting this golem, we should be fine. Hello? Hello, Mr. Golem. I am here to help. Oh. Well, I guess I'm not good enough. I guess I'm not good enough, huh? Well, that's fine. I don't want to be your friend anyway. Get these guys out of the way. Ah, oh, good. Good. Alright. So, we'll try and make our way a little further along, right? Oh, no, that's fine. Try and make our way a little further along. So, I think this is actually the new hog path. So, this is where we were supposed to go, right? This is where we were supposed to go, and where we end up, potentially? Yeah. Okay. So, I can't remember if we get poisoned here. But the idea is that even without the help of the mastery, we can probably make our way to Ratanovis where we need to. Though I do feel like I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Oh my goodness. The problem is, like, I don't really know where I'm going. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. So, like, they want me to end up there, but that's not here. You could go through there, but there are like a lot of lasers. So, based on this, You can come up through here, maybe? No. We'll find out. We'll find out. It's an adventure, guys. It's an adventure. And I hope you're here with me to explore. Up through here. Well, this is where the golem was, right? Like, we were already here. So, is it just gonna lead us, like, right back to where we were? I think it is. I actually think it is. Oh, no. I'm just wasting my time here. Hold on. Here we go. I knew I was missing something. I knew I was missing something. There was a shortcut. There was a shortcut, and now we can get to the lane. Very nice. Very nice. We did it. We did it. I solved the, it wasn't a puzzle. It wasn't a puzzle. It was a follow the marker. It was a follow the marker request. And I did it, guys. I did it. Aren't you guys proud of me? I used my room temperature IQ brain, and I was able to solve the puzzle that didn't really need solving because it was very straightforward, and it was just an anchor point on the map that I did not understand. Jump, damn it. Ah! Okay. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Doo. So many chalk here. So many chalk here. I guess the tunnels are chock full of enemies. Ha 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 ha. Okay, that's really bad. That's a really, really bad. Wait. It's through here. How dare you?
I knew I'd achieve this.
I knew I'd achieve this. No, I do enjoy the bad pun. I'm glad you were here to experience it with me, Alice. I'm glad. Right. Come on. Ah! I let it go a little bit. Sorry. I let the epidemic go a little bit too late, which means I wasn't able to, like, demolish everybody else with it. Unfortunate. You have crushed my will to live? Oh, come on. Surely it wasn't that bad, Valis. Surely it wasn't that bad. Oh, no. My tracking. There we go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. And when I see people visibly cringe, that's what gives me life, you know? But it's alright. It's alright if it's crushed your will to live. Because, you know, I'm playing a Necromancer, so even if you do go, I'll resurrect you to listen to more of these bad jokes. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I can't use my mount here anymore because this is like the story. So this is Heart of Thorns instance. So your mounts from Path of Fire is not, you know. There's no solace even in death. No, there is not. There's no solace. There's no solace. Only puns. Only bad jokes. But I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, you may grieve, Valis. You may grieve the fact that you'll have to listen to all of these bad jokes for the rest of eternity, where even death is, you know, where even death can't save you. But at the end of the day, acceptance is a part of grief. So I think you'll get used to it. I think you'll get used to it. Okay, what am I even doing here? Alright, I'm supposed to be searching for notes. And so there's a whole bunch of like, research notes. And then I think what happens is that, like, these things sort of get activated. So you have to worry about, well, I've just been going in circles, but you're supposed to find research notes in this area. But I can't remember the specifics of it. I can't remember the specifics. Words of the abuser, you'll get you. Oh no! That makes it sound so much worse. That makes it sound so much worse. You're painting me out to be some kind of monster. But well, what I was gonna say in response to that was, words of the abuser, you'll get used to it. And I was gonna say, well, am I wrong? But that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh my goodness. All right. So we need we need to find these research notes. And I'm not exactly sure where. From memory, there was like a research lab actually, where you can like find everything, but I don't remember exactly how to get there. So I'll just be wandering around in circles until I find it eventually. Right, let's see. Because like I was up there and there's nothing. So I assume there might be something up here. But if there's not, then I'm not sure. But we can try our best. See if we can find those research notes. Okay, it's not here. Where is it? There's like a lab. There's like a lab somewhere in this area. But I don't know if this this instance actually contains it. Maybe it's underground? Anything under here? No. Okay. I'm just completely lost right now. If I were to be completely honest, I am kind of lost. I know that the mushroom, like the existence of this jumping mushroom probably means that what I'm looking for is up here somewhere. But I don't know where. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a bunch of chalk attacking Timey. So, I want to make the assumption that helping her is probably a good thing.
Makes sense the chalk are here.
Okay.
This place is a next
Okay, I guess it's the... I guess
that's
that's what I was meant to do, just help them out, right?
Well-fed chalk. They're probably responsible.
Oh, maybe the research is back up here. Maybe the research was back up here. Okay, let's listen to them talk first.
What's that supposed to mean? Maybe you need the safety of my golem.
Okay, stop bickering, children.
I'm not saying it. Nature is.
Okay, enough. Let's pick up the pace.
Okay, let's pick up the
We need
pace.
to find the lab where they conducted their dragon research. What's the best way to do that?
Maybe if we power up the city, Scruffy could trade
Okay.
energy drop.
So powering up the city. I feel like that has something to do with this
Sounds reasonable. How
platform.
do you restore power to this place?
That's what I was investigating before you got here, not playing with toys, Bram. Anyway, they had a different procedure for refining ley energy and using
Oh my god, I didn't even notice. If you take a look at like the robot, it kind of looks like a big brain, right? It's I don't know.
It's worth
I think Timey, like the way that they present Timey, like in the writing and that, is like very, I don't know. If I were to say the way that they present Timey, like terms that come to mind would be like Mary Sue, I guess, because in a lot of the expansion content, like obviously not in the base game, but in a lot of the expansion content, Timey is like presented as this perfect super genius. She's cute and funny, and she's great, and her hijinks are so cheeky, teehee, but then she has the intelligence to solve all of our problems, and she's sort of like used as this way to just pull random plot points out of thin air in order to conveniently solve the problems that are right in front of us. And I think that in Heart of Thorns it's not that bad, but later on in the story, like the fact that it consistently happens with Timey sort of is a bit on the nose, and I think that a lot of the people in the community are not huge fans of it. But sounds like a Mary Sue self-insert if I've ever heard of it. Yeah, exactly. But I do find it funny, right? Because my last impression of Timey was things like that. And then here we have like, I don't know, this is probably incidental, right? But like Timey's golem, the robot that she's in, it kind of looks like there's like a big brain. Like the lighting of it makes it look like a big brain. And so, you know, it just made me think of her reception in the community and her role in the story. And I like, look, like from a distance, that looks like a brain, right? Like the golem is like one big brain. So I just found it funny. There's no like greater meaning to it. All right. All right. How close are we to getting the wallows? Not too far away. I guess we'll go back to gliding because we need ley line at the end of the day. There we go. That should help. There we go. Nice. How much longer, Timey?
Collectors left before the city turns on.
If the power is down, where's this light coming from?
It's a natural light, isn't it?
Wondered the same thing, and the Rodanovans had quite an answer.
It's like natural light, isn't it?
Those are actually clusters of
Yeah.
optic cables that run up to the surface. They carry natural.
Aren't these Asura such big brains, guys? They're so smart. Oh, wow. Sorry. That's a little too harsh.
I hope we get to see how they solve one of the
See, look, it's like a brain.
ventilation problems. It could revolutionize all future Asuran construction.
We won't find it
Wait, how would it revolutionize Asuran construction when it's literally just, oh, we'll get the light from the surface. We'll dig holes and then we'll get light from the surface. How would that revolutionize Asuran construction? I don't know. I'm too critical. I don't need to be this critical. I mean, it's like an MMO story. And I know that there are some MMOs with a really powerful story, but then there are a lot of MMOs with just like a basic story that's threadbare and just holds it together strongly enough to justify, you know, the locations and the plot devices that you do. And I think, I don't know, Guild Wars tries to be the former where they have like this in-depth sort of really strong story, but it ends up being more of the latter where, you know, it's not really huge strength, it's just good enough for what they're trying to do. Okay, ba-boom. That epidemic is good. Tree Jesus, yes. Yes, Traherne in the base game. That's a definite example of that, Valis.
Is the call
Definite example.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's quiet down here.
It's quiet.
Mordramoth's voice was growing to a great bellow as we drew closer. Here, it's a whisper. It's a welcome respite.
Ah.
was it becoming too much?
Commander, you insult me. I have no plans to give myself over to that beast.
That beast.
Good to hear.
Alright. So, we've gotten a little bit more of the city, right? And the idea is just to protect Timey as she does all of the work. But I think it's fine. Because, like, again, this is just, you know, typical escort mission material in terms of quest design. And I do think that there are games out there that attempt to have, like, unique design. But a game like an MMO, so this is like another rant, or this is more of like a tangent, or an aside even, right? A lot of games will attempt to have like innovative mechanics and that sort of thing, but the deal with MMOs is not necessarily the depth, right? It's not the depth of experience that matters so much with MMOs, it's the breadth, right? Because what, like, we have to understand that the goal of, like, each game has its own kind of goal, and mechanical depth can add to it or detract from it. But with MMOs, the whole idea is to immerse you in a virtual world. And although in-depth mechanics or complicated mechanics can help with that, what's more important is the breadth of experience that you can have inside an MMO, particularly ones that facilitate and that make use of social interaction with others. And the reason is so that it can immerse you in that virtual world. So with a game like Guild Wars 2, you won't have like particularly elaborate quest design as you're doing the missions, as you're doing the story. Like, you're not gonna find yourself with the kind of like interesting quests that you would find in a single player RPG. The type of gameplay and the type of quests that you will do is pretty standard, pretty threadbare. But it doesn't really matter so much because it's not really the focus of the game, right? It's not really the focus. Alright, there we go. Got rid of a couple of golems, and now Timey can do like another button, I guess. Alright, sorry. It's not the most engaging gameplay watching this Asuran in a golem press buttons, but it oh, what the heck? Did you see the way it flipped? Holy shit. Alright, cool. Alright, and then now we epidemic, and then it hits everybody else. There we go. It's fun hearing you complain about her though. Thank you, Ballas. Thank you. I complain about a lot of things. Oh my goodness.
Going after the Rodenovan
Flipped? Yeah, JP, didn't you see it? Like the veteran shark. I was standing here, and then the veteran shark came in like the back, and it sort of like flipped into the frame.
Which way, Tyler?
Now that we started the engine, I'm getting a sizable power signature.
Man, you're seeing things, seeing chalk, seeing flips. Well, you know what, JP? You know what? That's not unheard of. That's not a bad thing, right? You know why it's not a bad thing, JP? Of course I'm going to be seeing things. My eyes are open. Now, if I was like this the whole time and then I was seeing things, maybe you would have a point. But my eyes are open, JP. So the idea that I'm seeing chalk, that I'm seeing things, that's not weird at all. So I don't know what point you're trying to get at, my friend. But whatever point you're trying to get at, you're definitely wrong there. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh no, the cannons. Womp womp. Oh wait, actually... Wait, do they take conditions? Yeah, they do. Okay. Whew. Here we go. So now we're getting into like the nitty gritty of the area. Because we've powered up the majority of the city. And then now we have to deal with the city's inbuilt security systems. Right? So that's what we're doing now. That's why we have all of these weird ballistic cannons. Man, they look so weird. And then they got the sentry golem and more cannons. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Man, they do a lot of damage, actually. Well, it's not even that they do a lot of damage, is that they also do condition damage, which is not cool. There we go. There we go, very nice. And then now, we're in the big lab.
Now, Tiny. We back on track?
Look at this. All of this special Asuran technology. The command center of this place. Very, very cool. Well, I don't know. It's kind of empty, kind of boring, but I guess it's kind of cool, you know? I guess it's kind of cool. Alright. I like how it's, like, it's not leveled, right? I find it funny. I mean, there's nothing special about it, right? Because it's like the environment, and this city has long been abandoned, right? So it's not weird to see that, you know, the structure of the city has sort of shifted due to like seismic activity and things like that. But I do find it sort of interesting or amusing, I guess, that we have the Asurans that are, you know, reputed to be so intelligent, such an advanced civilization, right? Well, and, you know, they're an advanced civilization, but then they can't create, you know, level floors, right? They can't create level floors. You know, nice advanced civilization there, Asura Kex. Alright, let's see if we can epidemic that and then just demolish all of the other ads there. Nice. Nice, we got everything. That's very cool. Now he's running away. Easy. Oh, okay. Cutscene to... I forgot about this. Holy cow. I forgot about this. Oh, man. Oh, that's the AAA budget right there.
Nice job.
Thanks. But Scruffy did most of the work.
Yeah, well.
No, you don't understand. The tilted floors are advanced technology. Hey, you know what, Valis? You may actually have a point there. You may actually have a point, because if we remember, right? If we remember, the tilted floors is advanced technology, and you know what else? Natural sunlight is also an advanced technology. So you may have a point there. You may have a point there. I love the way his neck stretches clearly too far to look up like that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Small indie studio, please understand. All right, so we're gonna find the dragon research, but essentially it's like we're gonna just open the portal, right? We're gonna open the portal. Why are we opening this portal? I don't know. That's why we're going to ask Timey, because she's the 500 IQ super genius who's also in a powerful battle golem, so she's also the strongest person here. And we're going to ask for her opinion about all of this.
Is everything okay, Timey?
Sorry. Yes, I'm okay, Commander. Well, actually, permission to speak freely?
Always. What is it?
I enjoy serving in this company. Everyone is great, but I'm a member of this team, not its mascot.
I agree. You've more than proved your mettle during this mission.
Oh, you do? Well, we should have that way.
I think they do. Hate to break it to you, but you're a full-fledged part of this team, whether you like it or not.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Thanks.
Oh my god, I hate her. That was definitely a common reaction, Valis, in the community. But I think after... Okay, so it gets worse before it gets better with regards to Timey, but, you know, it gets better at some point. So I think in the story now, like where the story's up to, because we're working on story content from like 5 years ago, so this is actually very outdated. But I think in the current story arc, she's alright. I think? Yeah, probably fine. JP says, be Asura. Build advanced techno outposts to fight dragons. Get eaten by bugs because you didn't secure the floors with armor plating. No. Okay, here's the thing, JP. Here's the thing, right? They didn't have the money, right? They didn't... Well, okay, so here's the thing. They couldn't afford, right? They spent all the budget, right? They spent all the budget on these super advanced computers, right? So what we have here, okay, just so that you guys understand, what we have here is an Intel Xeon, right? But this is an Intel Xeon from when they still use the 14 nanometer node. And so what that means is that there's a lot of cores, and this is like a supercomputer, but it uses a lot of power, and it costs like $200,000, right? So this is an old Intel server computer that uses way too much power, that uses too much electricity, that costs too much money, and because they spent all the money on these Intel computers, which unfortunately they got roped into a binding contract and they could not get out of it because, you know, Intel has a pretty good lawyer division. So it's, once you get into a contract with these guys, it's not easy to get out. And so what happened, right, was because they spent all the money getting these computers up and running, they didn't have enough money for mosquito spray. They didn't have enough money for bug spray. And as you know, guys, along with the tilted floors, bug spray is an advanced technology, right? It costs almost as much money to get bug spray as it does to get natural sunlight. So that's why we have such a shark infestation here in this Asuran city. Now, it's sort of unfortunate, but, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And, you know, maybe next time, we'll dedicate more money to the bug spray budget as opposed to the supercomputer budget, because as you know, there's no point having all of these supercomputers if you don't have anybody to use them. There we go. There we go. All right. So what do we actually do? Oh, yeah. Test the dilapidated sewer gate. It's probably fine. Probably fine, right? There we go. All right. We're in a new spot. We're in a new spot. Ooh, mastery. Oh.
Great job not dying, Commander. I told you that gate would...
Well, that didn't work out too well.
I hope no one was planning on going back that way.
Where'd we end up?
There's a huge lay draw ahead of us. I bet my transverse wave inverter it's the Dragon Lab.
Nothing bad could possibly happen? Exactly, Valis. Timey herself said that nothing bad could happen. So nothing bad did happen. There we go. I like this lore. I'm glad you enjoy this official canon lore, JP.
Wait, the emblem on that blast door.
The dragon. That must be it.
Ooh. Bum, 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 bum.
We need to get through that mess and open that lab.
I can't. The door that leads down those stairs is dead.
Ooh.
Still trapped here? The only other way out was through the gate that just exploded?
Maybe? Probably. Yes.
Let's think about this. Why aren't those doors working?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hold on. Is that Timey I hear? Coming up with an instant solution? Wow. Who would have thought?
Lay energy power.
Oh, that's so bad. I gotta stop.
It almost certainly rendered the doors to this room and the lab inoperative when it went. If we can complete the circuit, they'll both open for sure.
There we go.
Any ideas, people?
I have a thought. Scruffy can bridge the gap. The latex I outfitted him with should conduct the energy.
Very convenient. Very convenient, Timey.
Well, I'm not sure.
Timey, back at Dry Top when the inquest destroyed Scruffy and almost captured you. I can't...
Can't what? Let a child make her own decisions? I'm not a child, and this is what I'm doing. Maybe I wasn't ready for it at Dry
She's
Top.
not a child.
Fair enough.
She's
Once the
not a
doors are
child.
We'll still have a ton of chalk to control.
How dare I offer my opinion?
But first
We're
things
talking about the Timey here. She knows what's best.
All right, big guy. It's time. You know what to do.
All right, here we go.
Why did he stop?
Go on. It's okay. I'll be okay.
I'll say something after this. There we go. Doors open. Door's been busted open, and so has Scruffy. Ba-boom. Okay, so what I did find kind of funny was like Scruffy paused for a moment, right? And then Timey goes up to him, or well, you know, it's a golem, it's a robot, but he goes up to it, and then she says, "Oh, it's okay. I'll be okay, right? I'll be okay." And then part of me is just thinking like, well, you know, what if Scruffy wanted to live, right? Like, what if it's got nothing to do with your well-being, Timey? Maybe Scruffy knows that he was going to die in making this ley line connection. And he paused and hesitated because he didn't want to die, right? And then Timey's just like, I'll be okay. I don't know. I just found that funny. If only we could use some kind of implement to open the door, like a ram of battering or something. Or you know what, though? You know what? You know what? Scruffy could have probably chucked everybody above this wall onto the other side as well. Probably don't even need to break through the door, but no, it's fine, it's fine. We have the dramatic door powering scene, so that's necessary.
Thank you, Timey. Now about those chalk.
Yes, we're devastatingly outnumbered.
Commander, when you were young, do you remember the bad kids burning beetles with a magnifying lens?
Sure, why?
She's had a weird childhood.
I'm about to be bad. The device in that room is basically a huge telescope. I can reconfigure
Poor
all the lights
Scruffy.
in there to feed
She's
into
like
the
already
lights
happy and peppy.
heat ray.
Scruffy was supposed to be like this important mascot character, and then he's like,
You need to.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know. Scruffy just died, right? He just fucking died. And Timey's all, let's go! But, you know, I want to respect Scruffy and offer my condolences. Because Scruffy was a good golem. He was one of the best. You know? Scruffy love. Alright, there we go.
Until she's done.
Right, she is a total psychopath. I just find it incredibly funny. I find it incredibly funny, Valis, because, like, definitely our impression of Timey was commonplace in the community, where we're just, like, dunking on her, and our opinion is generally very negative and that sort of thing. Within the Guild Wars 2 fan base, the impressions of Timey were relatively similar, right? A lot of people felt about her the way that we are feeling about her right now, in that we have generally negative thoughts. But it was actually very funny because the writers seemed to think that their portrayal of Timey was rather positive, right? It was rather positive and uplifting and inspiring, and it was just interesting to see the dissonance between like the community and how they perceived Timey in this story compared to how the writers perceived Timey in this story. I do find it very funny. Thankfully, over time, the developers did sort of like mellow in how they portrayed Timey. But yeah, it was very amusing. All right, here we go. Well. Ah! Okay, here we go. Protect Timey while she works. Yes, protecting Timey once again. The most important mission of all, guys. Oh yeah, I remember the writers had no idea what they were doing. Yes. Actually, I have friends who still play the game. Well, I mean, I'm playing the game still, so I can't really put myself as separate to that. But I have friends who are very active in following the story, and they still have negative things to say about what the writers have been doing in like the last 6 months or so, with how they've handled the what is it, like the latest one, the Ice Brood saga, right? Like there's a lot of people who are not happy with how certain stories were brought to conclusion or brought to completion. So, you know, the idea that the writers have no idea what they're doing might still be something that they suffer from today. You know, it's just that the things that they struggle with are different to what they used to be. Because, like, again, the stuff with Traherne, right? That doesn't really rear its ugly head in Path of Fire and all of that stuff. You know, it comes to a nice conclusion with Heart of Thorns, I believe. But then there's stuff with Timey. And then once they finish, you know, messing around with Timey, there's something else. There's something else. No wonder they booted like 80% of the writers. I actually don't know how many of the writers they booted, JP. I actually have no idea. Guild Wars peaked in War of the North. Changed my mind. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, Valis. I haven't really gotten into Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2 was like the first. Well, I know that Guild Wars 1 isn't an MMO in the same sense that Guild Wars 2 is, right? But like, I never really got into the original Guild Wars, so I actually wouldn't know. And I would be interested in trying Guild Wars 1 at some point. But, you know, like the temptation to play other games is much higher, you know, so I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. Alright. There we go. Lure the shark into her weapon. Alright. Alright. Fine, I guess I'll get everybody. Oh, there's the big one. Alright, they're all coming in. Big laser. Ow. Ow! Oh, that nearly got me. Alright. Alright, that laser is just demolishing all of them, so we just stand here. Because, like, they won't make their way here without ticking out to bleeds and stuff, so. Guild Wars 1 was really good. Okay. Like, I've heard as much. But it was a different type of game, right? It wasn't an MMO in, like, the traditional sense, right? It was an online game, obviously. But it was more designed for, like, I don't know, solo content, maybe? Like, to be played by yourself and stuff, because I know that I've heard a lot about like the dungeon runs and stuff, or like the dungeon paths and things like that, and you know, like sorry, let me rephrase, not just dungeon paths, but like clearing maps, right? Farming maps and clearing out maps, taking certain paths, right? Like a lot of the end game was built around doing that solo. You could easily do solo and group. Options are all there. Okay. So maybe like the paths are the same, but then you can do group, and then you can do solo, and then the game scales based on what you do. That's pretty cool. I do enjoy that, right? I do enjoy that. Where the games give you an option, and then they reward you appropriately. Okay, so here we go. Here's the mainframe. Here's the central control panel to the Intel Xeon servers of Rata Novus. Here we go. Activate.
Novans had a serious beef against Primordus.
Anything on Mordremoth?
No, well, sort of. About all the Elder Dragons.
How does she even know that without even looking at the console? Jeez, she's so smart. Wow.
Determined that each Elder Dragon had a weakness. A unique, respective weakness.
And does it say
What it is? No.
Rip.
easily?
So unfortunate.
It's obvious the way you and my mother stopped Zaitan won't work here. So what do we do now?
This is good news, people. We've been charging headlong against Mordremoth, not even knowing if it can be beaten. Only knowing we had to beat it. Now we know it's possible. Now our mission is to find out how. To do that, we have to get closer to Mordremoth. And thanks to that lay map, we know exactly where it is.
Let's catch up with the others then. I suppose it'd be
All right,
nice
that's
to have some
nice.
help finding
At least we're given a little bit of clarity, right? At least we have something to work with. Oh, sorry, JP. I think I missed one of your posts. You said discarded like a blurb. Really, JP? Really, JP? I don't know. I don't know. Oh my goodness. I guess. Oh my god. I don't know. Like, that's such a reach. I think you were fishing for a connection there, if you will. Oh, no, that's pretty bad too. No, forget I said that. That's pretty bad. Let's talk to Taimi, because she already knows everything without even interfacing with the console. She already knows what's going on here.
Oh no. I already have design plans for Scruffy 2.0. Little trim here.
See? Scruffy. is forgotten.
Lots of weapons.
Oh, rip
No
Scruffy.
golem for the immediate future means this is the end of the road for me. I'll be staying in Rada Novus with all this delectable
Alright, if that's the case, I would like to pay my respects for Scruffy 1.0. Because he really was a good golem, one of the very best.
Point
You know,
taken.
Scruffy love.
Should I send word to someone back at Rada soon? Let them know you're here.
No.
No thanks. I'll take care of that. Like,
Oh, what's wrong
every
with me?
week or so.
Don't want to get flunted again, huh?
Not particularly.
Okay, Timey. I hope to see you soon.
Me too, Commander. Give that dragon a good one for me.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Nice. Oh, jeez, look at all of this. What kind of skin would actually look the nicest? So let's say wielded, dagger, axe, scepter. They all look kind of bad. They all look kind of bad. I'll go with the axe, simply because I know that there's a build that I can take advantage of later that uses axe. So in order to play raids, you can have power builds and you can have condition builds. And the plan is to get enough hero points, well, to do enough masteries to get leyline gliding so that I can join my friends in raids. But then the other goal that I have is to get enough hero points on the map and then unlock Reaper so that I can have a power build to accompany my current Condi build on Scourge. That's the whole point. All right, so now that we've done this, excuse me, and now that we've done this, we can hop out of the instance. Yes, Scruffy's graduate. Yes, JP. Simply put, yes. I agree. I agree. Scruffy love. All right, we'll get the waypoint here, and then we'll head back to like the New Hawk area, where the frogs are, and the friggin' frogs are. Let's go up a lane. There you go. Take New Hawk into the big waypoint there. And this should be a relatively safe area, because what we're going to do here is we're going to finish up with the game for now. I think my voice is, I don't know. I haven't even been streaming that long. I don't think I've been talking that much compared to my usual streams, but my voice is like really dying today. I don't know. Maybe it's just the day that I've had, but I think we'll finish up the stream for now. But before I go, obviously, we'll have our little chat with you guys, right? A little bit of a chat. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming along. I really do appreciate it. Every time, like, I get people coming into the stream saying hello and that sort of thing, I always appreciate it. Because when I started streaming, right, I don't really expect to get any people watching and that kind of thing. So to see people here, to see people chat, you know, whether it's like, you know, like even if it's only a couple people. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Shinsei Type. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, if it's only a few people, or, you know, if it's a lot of people, you know, I really do appreciate it, because, so here's the thing, right? Like, I feel like I see so many people that stream, that VTuber, but not just VTubers, like streamers in general. And like the way that they can build a connection with the people in the chat, the way that they can stream and entertain, like, I don't know. I sort of have a relatively objective outlook on how I am as a streamer and what I can offer. And it's like, I don't really see myself match up to like the best streamers I see on Twitch at all, right? At all. So like, I don't really expect anybody to come by. So when I do get people who come by and who do say hello and who do get involved in the chat, I really do appreciate it. I actually wanted to have like a clip done. You'll get there. It's all practice. Exactly. Thank you, Valis. Like, yeah, and that's also part of it, right? Like, I don't expect to be like big or anything along those lines, and I don't expect to be, you know, like amazing as a streamer. But the thing is, I do still stream because I still do enjoy it, and I do hope to become better, you know, because it's all about the improvement. It's all about the progression. It's all about the journey, right? It's all about the journey. You don't need to be exactly where you want to be right now, but if you're walking in the right direction, then you'll get closer today. You know, you'll get closer tomorrow, and then closer next week, and then closer the week after. So the whole idea is, you know, just don't get discouraged, and, you know, just work slowly towards your goal, because sooner or later you will get there, you know. And that's, you know, that's the whole point, and, you know, how I approach my own streaming. But actually, yeah, I did want to get I did want to get like my clip done today. So just as a little bit of just a little bit of context, I have been working on like this. I don't know how people do it. I've been working on this. I honestly think your voice and style is pretty unique out there. You have an untapped market, real talk. Been watching your VODs. Oh, thank you so much, Shinsei. I really, tracking. Thank you so much, Shinsei. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. And I appreciate the follow as well. But I was trying to get like this long form clip done, and it's me just ranting about something else in Guild Wars 2. It was from a stream I had like a couple of weeks ago. It was about raids, right? And it, you know, I couldn't finish it today because I was I was too busy, quote unquote, sleeping and napping. Right, so I didn't get it done today. I'm hoping I can get it done tomorrow. Maybe if I stream tomorrow, I'll get it done, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, my stream schedules right now are a little inconsistent, so I pretty much just stream, you know, when I can or when I want to, and, you know, I'll always post updates on my Twitter. So if you want to check out my Twitter, I will link it in the chat, because I enjoy a good self-shill, right? I enjoy a good self-shill, but I'll always post updates there. Okay, so to go back to my original point, was I was working on like a 5-minute clip of me just doing like a rant, because I want to make my content a little bit more digestible. I do feel like I go off on tangents fairly often, right? But I do think that's hard to sort of capture in a clip format, or it's hard to sort of sell yourself on, you know, that kind of streaming style. And so what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to get myself, like, trying to make my own clips and try to make my rants a little more digestible. And I have like a 5-minute clip from a couple of weeks ago that I've been working on, and I wanted to get it done today because I'm playing Guild Wars 2 today, and I was like, oh, it's a Guild Wars 2 clip. I wanted to get it done and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it done, and I'm big sad because I was busy sleeping, right? But working on the clip, like, it's just given me such a big level of respect to clippers that I didn't think I would have, because I personally enjoy like the video editing process. I don't consider myself at all professional to any extent, but the idea of like putting together a small video with like light editing is really enjoyable for me, because I do enjoy that process. But to manually subtitle what someone says for the purposes of a clip, oh my goodness, it's such a nightmare. It's an actual nightmare. So like, I'm like 3 to 4 minutes into my clip, and it's terrible, especially because I talk so much. And so people who do make clips, like, or not just the VTubers, let's say, but like streamers in general, and people who do that in a way where they have subtitles too, like they manually put down the subtitles, and then especially if the subtitles are like the tone of the subtitles is presented visually as well. Oh my god, because that takes so much time. That's difficult to do. So it's given me an appreciation for clippers that I never had before, because, you know, I was one of those people. I'm one of those people who's like, oh, you know, you clip streams? How easy is that? How easy is that? It's just clipping a stream, forehead, right? But no, actually, there's more to it than I would have expected. So I have gained an appreciation, and it's to the point where if I'll clip myself doing long form stuff again, then I probably won't have subtitles. The process is fine, except for the subtitles. That just makes it so time consuming. I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview. Because I'm because I have a bit of an ego, and I do want to show off what I've done. For some people in chat may have already seen it. You guys may have already seen it, but we'll take a look. I do want to show it off. If it's here, is it here? Hold on. Oh my god, I don't remember where I put it. Wow. I don't remember where I put it. All right, hold on. Let's go back to the Zatsu. Yeah, I gotta say that I find your insight into tech very refreshing for one. Thank you, JP. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I do think that there are... Okay, so here's the thing, right? I do think that there are other people out there that have like a decent level of insight when it comes to tech, or when it comes to, you know, similar interests to what I have, right? I don't think I'm necessarily unique in that regard, but I do think that there are not a lot of VTubers out there who necessarily have the same interests that I do. So I do think it's pretty cool that, you know, there's a little bit of a niche that I can occupy. Wait, I'm still getting the clip up. JP. Stop judging me. Clippers are the real heroes. Yes, Valis. Yes. And I think definitely as a VTuber, like, we really do appreciate the work of clippers, because, like, having the ability to take a good moment to, you know, get like the stream experience distilled in a short clip for the purposes of exposure and getting views, and helping like the entertainer who provides that clip, right? Helping them gain exposure and more of an audience. Like, I think it's a, you know, it's a positive relationship overall. You know, there's a lot to be said back and forth about, like, you know, clippers and what they decide to clip and things like that. But, you know, generally speaking, I do have a respect for clippers. You know what you play, guys? Here we go. Here we go. Guardian. No, you play the freaking Time Mage, the Illusion Magic Mage. Hold on. I'll start again. I'll start again, because that was a little WTF. So hold on. So here's what I've done so far. It's just like 2.5 minutes or whatever. But here we go. Here's the clip. You know what you play, guys? You play the Guardian. No, you play the freaking Time Mage, the Illusion Magic Mage. Oh no, that's too big. Oops. Let's say you have a hybrid build, right? Hybrid build, you know, that does a bit of self-healing, that does a little bit of damage, that has a little bit of boons, that does a little bit of DPS, and that can tank a lot of self-damage. Maybe, let's say, you know, your ability, your DPS is between 10 to 15,000. So you can do 10 to 15,000 DPS. So let's say times 10, and then the overall DPS would be, let's just say 100 to 150k, right? However, what they realized is, because of the way the skills and the traits in this game work, you could load it up differently to where you have 2 or 3 people running all the support roles and everybody else running on focused DPS. Let's say 20 to 25k DPS. And then you have supports that can still do like 5k or whatever. Then if you have 10 people, right, you still have 235. Wait, hold on. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, maybe I am. Maybe I am. It's not 235. So 155 to 190k. And so you take a look at this, right? For example, if you have a 5-minute enrage timer, right? If you do it with like the optimized comp, then, you know, you actually don't need 5 minutes. You only need like 3.3 minutes in rage for optimized. And so what this means is that you have all of that extra time. And so this kind of system puts more pressure on the support players, but it makes it easier for the group overall by optimizing DPS. And that is the problem that Guild Wars 2 ran into once they started implementing raids and like high-level fractals, but especially raids into the game. Because what they found out was, hey, okay, there we go. And that's what I've done so far. Like I've gotten a little bit more done today, but that's more or less like the kind of editing and the kind of clipping that I have been working on. And so yeah, it's been, I don't know, like I'm sure that there are people out there who are actually good at video editing and that's like simple, but that's the kind of stuff that I want to put out there to supplement my stream content, you know? Because, you know, I want to put my content in a way that's digestible for people, and streams may not necessarily be the best way for that. So I do want to expand and try new ways of getting myself out there, you know? But yeah, that's probably like, that'll probably be it for the stream. So I'm going to hop off for the time being, but before I go, JP, what is it they found out? They found out what? No, you'll have to wait for the full clip to come out. You'll have to wait for the full clip to come out before you find out what the ArenaNet developers realized about the game. All right, so now I do appreciate everybody who came along. Valis, thank you for coming. Shinsei, thank you for coming. JP, Kenjo, thank you guys for coming. I really do appreciate it. Before I go, shield your Twitch channel at the end of the clip. 100%. 100% Shinsei. I will be finishing off. When I finish off the clip, I will definitely have links to all my different socials and that sort of thing, and I will try and shill it everywhere if I can. But yeah, I'm going to hop off for the time being. Thank you guys for coming so much. I really do appreciate it. Before I go, I will send you to Shife, actually. I think Shife is streaming right now. So Shife is not necessarily a streamer herself, but she does stream occasionally, right? And she's currently streaming. It Takes Two, so I think she's playing a co-op game. So please do go say hello to her and all of that sort of thing. Don't worry about a raid message or anything like that. But yeah, Shife is cool. She's a friend of mine. She's very cool. I really would like it if you would go give her a visit and say hello. But again, this will be it for today. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. I'm not 100% yet. But if I do, then I definitely will talk about it on Twitter before I go live. So please follow me on Twitter or take a look at my Twitter. You don't have to follow, but take a look at my Twitter to keep up with my schedule. And I'm hoping in the next coming week or so, I can get back to doing consistent, regularly scheduled streams with a consistent time and consistent days so that I can get back into the swing of things. Unfortunately, there's been, you know, events happening outside of my control, which has made it difficult to be consistent, but I am hoping that in the coming weeks, I can get back into the grind, if you will. But yeah, I'll send you guys off to Shife. You know, please feel free to say hello. From Tooru to you, thank you for coming so much. I really appreciate your presence. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all next time.